thanks again for tuning in. Today, I'm going to do a review on 034 Motorsport's Density Line Adjustable Upper Control Arm Kit. And this video has been 2 years in the making. I've been running these items for ever since May of 2018. I've been nothing but happy with it. It came out of necessity for a proper aggressive track alignment. So I want to share my experience with you guys. But before I do that, it's quarantine time in LA and pretty much around the whole world. Before I get into that, since it's a 034 Motorsport item, I really want to just stop the review and give a major shout out to the company and to Javad especially for taking the time out of day-to-day operations ever since this happened. And the shop has been fronting money to provide KN95 masks to healthcare workers and frontline workers. And that's just about the nicest thing anybody's done in this industry. And, you know, I have buddies that are in the medical industry that are frontline workers, healthcare workers, and some of them are 034 customers. So if you guys didn't know, I'm going to share a link to the article in the description so you could take a look and see what they've been doing ever since the whole world basically went to shit. And I really want to thank the guys and the team over there because nobody stopped working there. They've been fronting their own money. And they even did some donations to where some people donated and contributed to the KN95 masks. But again, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to thank the company. And again, just speaks volumes for who they are and what they do. So to jump into the review, I just want to let you guys know that I recently uploaded a video of 5 very important reasons as to why upper adjustable control arms matter on these cars due to the type of suspension that they run on the longitudinal engine cars from Audi. And again, a lot of other manufacturers will run similar setups such as the BMWs. But this video is about specifically the track spec upper control arms that I've had on my car since May of 2018. And with the track spec, the reason why I went with track spec is because you needed to have a very aggressive alignment for performance reasons. So it's going to allow you degrees of freedom for getting a lot of negative camber out of your car. Now, if you look at the site, and the site's going to state that you're going to have degrees of freedom against the factory arms anywhere from negative 0.7 degrees to positive 0.3 degrees of camber. However, this is just degrees of freedom. It doesn't mean you're going to end up with either as negative as 0.07 or as positive as 0.3. Now, with a little bit of minor clearancing of the upright, you can actually get this number to negative 1.9 degrees of adjustment and still up to positive 0.3. So with that said, there's 2 versions online. And again, if you watch my previous video, this is going to help you decide whether it's a better choice for you to go with a camber correcting, which allows anywhere from 1 to 2 degrees of positive adjustment against the factory control arms, or anywhere from negative 0.2 to positive 2 degrees of adjustment with a little clearancing of the upright. When you look at the website, you're going to see 2 different colors of these control arms. Now, the black one is going to be your camber correcting, and the silver one is going to be your track spec. Now, rule of thumb is if you want to go fast, go silver. You can ask George at Malaka Motorsports. I'm sure he will agree with you. And if you want to have your suit, your tailor suit to go to work, do your day-to-day, you go with black. Color of elegance, color of my car. Anyways, a lot of color arguments lately online because Corona's boring people to death. Want to go into my experience with these adjustables. And just to give you guys an idea, I drive my car to and from track, and I do drive it on my days off. And this car's also gone to Fremont and San Jose quite a few times ever since I've had these upper adjustable control arms. One of the biggest things I want to mention is there is a little bit of misconception on Nvh Gain. Even though these upper control arms use higher durometer rubber in the bushings, I haven't noticed any NVH out of these. You will notice NVH out of things like, subframe bushings or a differential carrier mount or, anything metal that really reinforces the chassis. But these guys have contributed nothing to NVH gains. What they have contributed to, however, is a lot better track times. And let me go into the next item here. I have put the car on track maybe about 9 or 10 times ever since I've had it. And it's seen quite a few different tracks. It's seen mainly the Big Willow, which is our backyard racetrack here in Southern California. And the car has been driven all the way out to Thunderhill for a track day with Audi Club Golden Gate, which was a really awesome experience. It's also seen one instance of Laguna Seca, which to date is my favorite track, and one instance of Streets of Willow, which I'm not a big fan of. But again, the whole time it's lasted and has not needed any has not needed a rebuild, basically. And what I've come to realize out of these control arms, again, you don't have to baby them per se, but you do want to realign your car every now and then. And that's mainly from use, you know, from all the torture that it's seen. And again, my car has seen about 26,000 miles of worth of use out of it, and they are hard, you know, abusive miles. So just to jump into what you can expect out of the box on these upper control arms, what you'll get is 4 arms. Now, they're CNC machine billet aluminum arms, and they're designed this way for the most amount of strength you could get out of these parts. And that's going to translate into durability and longevity of the part. Now, to add to that, they are of rebuildable design. So instead of replacing them, you can always rebuild them for a smaller cost than what it costs to replace them, or replace your factory kit. The higher diameter rubber bushings are a 65 diameter, and at the ends, they feature genuine Aurora spherical rod ends. You're going to find all this information on the website, and it's also one thing on the website, and what they're going to mention is you want to have professional installation on these. And the reason why is because this has to do with steering and the behavior of the car, and you don't want to install this at your home if you don't know what you're doing. One other aspect of the installation is these have to be tightened at static ride height to make sure that those spherical rod ends survive and go for the longest period of time. Otherwise, to make sure that the bushings survive and go for the longest period of time. Otherwise, you're going to put some torsion on them. They're both finished anodized. Again, the silver is clear anodized, and then the camber correcting is going to be black anodized. And you can expect 4 control arms in the box, whether you go for the track spec or the camber correcting. And you're also going to get 4 heavy dust boots. Now, I'm just going to skip over this I'm going to cover this really quickly, but I've seen on the forums people having a hard time getting these dust boots on the spherical ends. Guys, if you have long nose pliers, just takes a couple of seconds. You just have to stretch them and get them over the spherical end links. Again, your installer, hopefully a professional, will know how to do this. As soon as I had these guys installed, I drove straight down to West End Alignment in Gardena, which is one of the most respected alignment shops out there, and got the car dialed in for heavy track use. Now, unfortunately, I haven't noticed a lot of tire wear or asymmetrical tire wear out of the negative camber, because in the last 26,000 miles, I've gone through maybe 5 or 6 sets of tires, if not more. And again, we burn them out at the track more so than on the streets. Once you get your alignment dialed in, you're pretty much ready to go, whether you went with a camber correcting or the track spec. And I have to thank 034 Motorsport service, because a couple of my visits, I've also utilized them to get the car aligned. And my most recent alignment, which has been also the most aggressive and the most fun to drive, is a result of 034 Motorsport aligning the car themselves. So if you guys watched my last video, if you understand why it's important to have adjustable upper control arms, this is absolutely the way to go. And, you know, I'm biased towards a more aggressive alignment because I like to have a fun car as opposed to, you know, a daily car. I have a daily car, which is also getting its upper control arms pretty soon. But there's no better item you could put on an A4 or an S4, an A5, S5, RS5, whatever you want to call it, whatever you have. There's no better item you can put on these cars to really vastly improve the driving experience and really bring out the true character these cars are lacking from the factory. I will link the products in the description, and again, there's a drop-down menu to where you could select which one you want to buy, but information is provided for both on the same page. So just make sure you make a right decision on which one makes more sense for you and for your needs. But again, having a biased opinion, I think track spec is the way to go. I think getting an aggressive alignment is the way to go, because once you wake up the car, you will not want to go back to anything else. The car behaves a lot better. My car has been nothing but a pure bliss to drive on the racetrack. It's cornering a lot better. It's minimized a lot of the understeer, even though you know, 034 doesn't ever talk about this, but if you align it properly, you're going to get a lot less feel of understeer out of these cars. You won't delete it. However, you will minimize just about as much feel of the understeer, and the car will be a lot more eager to corner, to rotate through the corners, and give you the performance you're really looking for in a sports car. If you guys have any questions, please drop them in the comments. I hope I covered everything. I am in love with these products. I got them as soon as they came out and have been happy since. I highly doubt anytime soon I'm going to need to rebuild them because they're sturdy as all hell, and they've been nothing but fantastic. So make sure you get your car aligned, you know, on a regular basis, especially if you're going to beat it up, just to make sure everything is set, you're dialed in, you're ready for your next track, and you don't run into any issues. And guys, please, 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 again, just make sure you do professional installation of these items. They're pretty critical in your car's performance, also to your safety. And if you're looking for a shop recommendation, if it's in SoCal, I'd gladly give it. You know, I've been using Pit Stop Motor Tuning for all my needs, but there are a lot of professionals out there. Just do a little bit of research, ask your buddies, especially the ones that have, you know, that have done it in the past, and go from there. And if you're watching this video when it comes out, 034 Motorsport is running a Stimulate Your Ride, SYR, which is Red Sir, sale, which you can save up to 10% off on hardware and up to 20% off on software. If you guys are in the market, now's a better time to jump on it and make sure you get the product and have it installed and go have a lot of fun while the roads are empty. And Mexico is in your backyard at this point. Guys, thank you again for watching. If you found the video useful, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to get more content out, and you know, given the quarantine, I mean, I'd like to get as many videos as I can before this lockdown is lifted. Anyways, have a nice one, guys. Try not to get too bored.